You and your friend go into Burlington, stealing coats or whatever you're stealing from them. Then you get in a car, 2022 CR 8297, State of Texas versus Logan Armstrong. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense?
Mike Latimer for the defense.
And are you Miss Armstrong? All right, you're going to have to make sure you speak up. All right, you entered a plea on November 16th of no contest to evading arrest, detention with a vehicle. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 4 years. The state is opposed to your application. They're taking in consideration 2022 CR 8298. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes.
All right, any objections to the PSI report, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense? I'm going to need you all to be quiet in the box while we're on the record. Deputy, is there any way to move them to the other end, perhaps? All right, state, do you have any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, any witnesses?
Only the defendant.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I just wanted to tell the judge that I am trying to get my life together. I'm trying to better myself and my studies. I'm trying to use every avenue that's available to help me get back on track and be a better person. That I don't have to go out and commit crimes and stuff like that.
All right, is there a reason why everybody is whispering? I cannot hear.
I can't either.
So, everyone in the box, I'm gonna need you to bring it down a notch. And everyone who's in front of me, speak up so I can hear. I'm thinking everybody wants me to be able to hear so I can make a ruling.
Could you describe to the court what job you have secured?
I work as a monitoring a homeless shelter in Austin.
And how many days a week do you work?
It's part-time, so only on the weekends right now.
Is it full day weekends? You're anticipating working full-time eventually with this
Yes.
organization?
Yes.
Well, I understand your criminal history is rather extensive, correct?
Yes.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
I have a question. You want to explain to me why you're going into Burlington's coat factory, stealing coats, and then running from the police with a 1-year-old in the car? Somebody explain to me, what were your thought process? And no offense against Burlington Coat Factory. I've been in there, never been able to find anything, but I don't understand what you thought you were doing, going into Burlington Coat Factory and taking items that don't belong to you.
At the time, I was just I went in there with the intention on getting clothes and selling so that I could have money.
All right, I'm gonna need y'all to be quiet in the box. So I don't understand why people don't get a job. Whatever happened to getting a job? And whatever happened to, getting a job instead of coming to court and then trying to get your life in order and say, oh, look, I've got a job. People do that every single day. And a lot of times people work jobs they don't want to work. But you know what? When they have children, they knock their pride aside and they'll do whatever they want to do. You think the people who are working at McDonald's want to work fries, although there's nothing wrong with that. But do you think that's their life's dream? I'm going to work fries for the rest of my life. But you know why they do it? Because they got bills to pay. And they're not going to Burlington's coat factory, making other people's job hard by stealing items, then running. And I always read the police report. I always read the PSI report and everything that's given to me. So you and your friend go into Burlington, stealing coats or whatever you're stealing from them. Then you get in a car with a 1-year-old unrestrained. And did the 1-year-old go into Burlington's with you all while y'all were stealing it? Did y'all leave him in the car by himself? Well, I mean, it's not, I believe you either know or you don't know. Where was the 1-year-old?
It was 3 people. One of them just walked away and police wasn't in contact.
So the 1-year-old, did the 1-year-old come in Burlington's coat factory with you all? So the 1-year-old is left out in the car with some third person. You don't know their name.
Tamara Agin.
So you're the only person who went in Burlington Coat Factory to steal?
No, it was two girls. Their both name was Samira.
Oh, okay. So then the other girl is out in the car, I guess the getaway car, for want of a better term, while y'all go in and steal coats. So explain to me, how did this plan happen? Were you all just sitting around the table and saying, hey, let's go steal coats from Burlington? How did you pick Burlington's Coat Factory? Why not Marshall's? Why not Ross? Why not Dress for Less? Why not the HEB? So explain to me how you all came up with a plan. Let's go steal coats from Burlington.
It wasn't a plan. It was just at any moment.
Oh, y'all just driving around like, hey, there's a Burlington. Let's go in there and steal. Is that the way you're telling me it went down? So how did it go down?
I just went in and saw something in the
And what did you take?
Tommy Hilfiger.
All right. So you go into Burlington and you immediately grab the Tommy Hilfiger. Who requested the Tommy Hilfiger? All right. Any other questions?
No.
Done from the state, Your Honor.
Okay. I'll hear argument.
Your Honor, the defendant does have an extensive criminal history, including at least one revocation on the charge that she's on probation on. In addition, facts of this case are pretty harrowing. She had a 1-year-old child in the backseat and she decided to elude police officers and try to drive away instead of just pulling over. The state would recommend that she do time in TDC. This has been something that's been escalating. It's been building up to this point. And at this point, she put someone in that car at risk who had no choice whether or not to be in that car.
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe Miss Armstrong kind of grew up too fast. She was born in Louisiana. She's 27 years old. She has a high school diploma. According to PSI, there are no felony convictions. And also what's important, I think, is that there are no drug offenses. Typically, when you see thefts, you see drugs. She was not stealing to satisfy any kind of drug habit. There are only 6 misdemeanor convictions, although I say only, but there's several arrests. Only 6 misdemeanor convictions. She was a member of the Zion Baptist Church. She has 2 children. The father, one of the children who has no criminal history, was tragically shot and killed in 2017. So she was supporting that child. That's the oldest child. She does volunteer work at the home shelter. And she's making these learning boards that while she was detained under this case and under the bond, she was making these learning boards for children to help not only her children, but other children. And it appeared to have picked up, and several people have been buying these learning boards that she's been making for preschool children. She has a mother that's very supportive that she lives with in Temple, Texas. Her father passed away. She is a single mother of these 2 children. She has siblings that also support her. And she has worked very hard to getting this job, and she wants one last chance. And I'm told her this would be her last chance. This is the first felony. And I've stressed upon her that this is very serious, that if she has to comply with every single condition, that she needs to make a copy of the conditions and keep them all over the house if she has to, because I don't want to see her back. She has no intention of coming back here unless it's a discharge of her probation or deferred adjudication. That's it. Thank you.
What does he mean you grew up too fast? I don't understand that.
Well, I think with her, she was with the kind of people that she kind of lost her childhood when she was doing adult things with adult people and getting her involved in things and made bad choices.
All right. All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court is going to find you guilty, sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, taking consideration 2022 CR 8298. Did you review that document with your...
Which document?
This is the document on that you signed the last time regarding no right to appeal.
Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Can I ask?
Sure.
before I'm taking first week, and I see my kids outside.
No, there are some security issues, so that can't happen. Who's outside with your children?
My boys.
How long have you known this boyfriend?
At first, this looked like just another shoplifting case. A young mother stood before the judge, asking for one more chance. She told the court she had found a job, was trying to rebuild her life, and wanted to become a better person. For a moment, it almost sounded like the kind of story that ends with mercy instead of prison. But then the judge opened the police report, and everything changed. What seemed like a simple theft case quickly turned into something far more disturbing. According to prosecutors, this wasn't just about stealing expensive Tommy Hilfiger jackets from Burlington. After the theft, the defendant allegedly jumped into a getaway car and led police on a dangerous chase, with a 1-year-old child inside the vehicle. That single detail completely shifted the courtroom atmosphere. The judge wasn't interested in excuses anymore. She wanted answers. Why risk a child's life? Why choose theft instead of getting a job? And perhaps the biggest question of all, how does someone convince themselves that stealing clothes and fleeing from police is worth putting an innocent child in danger? As the defendant tried to explain that she was desperate for money and claimed the decision wasn't planned, the judge pushed back with question after question, exposing every contradiction in her story. Each answer only seemed to raise even more questions. The defense argued that she was a struggling single mother, had recently found work at a homeless shelter, volunteered in her community, and was trying to turn her life around. They insisted this was her first felony and pleaded for one final opportunity to prove she could change. But the prosecution saw a completely different picture. They described a pattern of escalating criminal behavior and argued that this case crossed a line because an innocent child had been placed in serious danger during the police chase. Now the courtroom was divided between redemption and accountability. Would the judge believe this was a woman finally changing her life, or someone who had simply run out of chances? As the hearing reached its final moments, everyone waited for the decision. What happened next stunned the defendant and left the entire courtroom in silence.